From LALATE News Headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Mornings LALATE.
It's a great early morning as $1,400 third stimulus checks could be landing in your mailbox today, and another wave of $1,400 third stimulus checks, especially for people on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, and veterans benefits will go out today as well. Of all those details, meantime, fourth stimulus is heating up, as not one but several months of reoccurring stimulus checks now seems to be a reality. I'll have all the details and why Mitch McConnell did you a favor yesterday. In blocking the bill, it's going to go by recon and definitely get reoccurring stimulus checks in there. Meantime, you'll see for the first time a new video from the White House in which the president's vice president answers questions about stimulus. You'll see new video from the president after he made that major announcement yesterday that he will consider, yes, forgiving $50,000 of student loan debt. You'll see new video from the White House talking about corporate taxes. And will corporate taxes be raised to pass fourth stimulus? And then I have incredible other great news across the board about the new developing details that are coming out of the White House for Stimulus for You. As we go into a big weekend where a lot of stimulus is happening, I'm here, you're here, and guess what's happening? Wave after wave of stimulus checks is happening, and I have all the details one at a time so you can get to the finish line. This is Early Mornings LALATE. Everybody, it's Early Mornings LA. The toast is toasting, the butter's buttering. I'm here, you're here, and stimulus checks will be here in your mailbox as well. It's a big day, and I have big updates across the board. A lot of breaking news, and I'm so excited you joined me. How are you? Good morning. It's a very warm day here in Los Angeles, and the heat wave continues. If you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. I don't want you to miss a single video across the board. And wow, it's birthday month here on the channel. The channel turns 1 year old at the end of this month on April 25th, so let's try to get to 400,000 subscribers by then. Hit that subscribe button. Also, like this video. And if you're not become a member, consider becoming a member, Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Calcino VIP. The link's at the top of the chat and also in the pinned comment. Here's what you need to know about today. Mail checks may show up today of your $1,400 stimulus check. Yes. Why are they landing today? Because the mail checks are late. We have had under several waves of stimulus checks. We started wave 1 on March 17th, and then wave 2 hit on March 24th. Now, when we refer to a wave, each wave is 1 week in length. The stimulus go week to week. And the waves refer to when the deposits occur. Those are on Wednesdays. Every Wednesday, a new round of deposits occur. But this is what's important to understand, is that also every week, a series of new checks go out in the mail. People who got that first or second stimulus check by direct deposit may get it in the mail. People who have direct express by Comerica may get it instead by the mail. People who are big banks from Chase or Bank of America may instead also get it by the mail. And hundreds of thousands of viewers for this channel have a Wave 2 March 26 mail check result. Well, the great news is that even as of yesterday, April 1st, more of those March 26 mail checks finally showed up. They were late. This is what you need to know. If you have a March 26 mail check, it's showing up. It's just late. Give it a little bit of time. Now, this week also involved a new deposit, which was Wave 3. On March 31st, more deposits showed up into bank accounts. And with that come a new wave of mail checks that start today, April 2nd, April 3rd, April 4th, and April 5th. Will those checks be potentially late as well? I'll have all those details later in this video. I'll also be explaining to you why it's important to know that while some people think they're only getting a stimulus check next April 4th, Wednesday, it may come earlier. Yes, earlier. And not in a place in which you're expecting it to land. Yesterday, the press secretary for the President of the United States had to answer questions about forced stimulus. And these were among the questions that were asked. Namely, what are you doing with more taxes? Let's listen in to what she had to say.
Shift more companies and jobs overseas, and that China will be the big winner there. It also depends on getting countries to stop a race to the bottom on corporate taxes, and we're just wondering, how do you get those other countries to go along with that idea of, not racing to the bottom on corporate taxes?
Well, we have a little chart. Maybe we can pull up on the screen here. Hopefully, we'll cue it to come up just to show. Was it up before? Well, we'll bring it up again because it's a relevant one for people to take a look at. That just shows the journey of corporate tax rates over the course of the last several decades. The fact is, the corporate tax rate at 21% is lower than it has ever been in the past. What we're talking about is raising it to 28%, which is lower than it's been in the past several decades for most of that period of time. And it goes back to a rate that was the case during part of the Bush administration. See, as you can see here. Now, during the 60s, it was up over 50%. Obviously, that's incredibly high. And it's gone down progressively. And it was in the mid-30s, as you can see, through about 2015 or right before then. And then it went dramatically down. What we're talking about is just raising it to a rate that is lower than it has been through the vast majority of time over the last 70 years. Now,
here's what's important to understand, and this is a biggie, is that while this video I'm showing to you happened yesterday, after the video occurred, Mitch McConnell did you a favor. What favor did Mitch McConnell do you? He came out and said, no. He did his own version of Temple Doom, 2021 version. No, not going to do it. So Mitch McConnell said he heard the forced stimulus package. He said, no, I'm not going to do it, which is absolutely great for you. Why? Because now the president has to do it by reconciliation. And reconciliation is your e-ticket to multiple stimulus checks. Why? When the bill goes by reconciliation, it goes right over to the Senate. And those Senate Democrats, 20 of 50, have already said, again this week, for the third time, when you give us that bill, we're going to amend the bill. We're going to amend the bill. We don't care what's in there. We're going to amend it, and we're going to put in there monthly, reoccurring stimulus checks. These will be about $1,400 to $2,000. It would go to about the end of this year, and this would be an insane amount of money, $12,000, $15,000, $16,000. A lot more than hazard pay, SSI and SSI, $2,400, and a lot more than FPUC retro. And with Mitch McConnell giving you that, no, I'm not going to do it situation, the president should just at this point move ahead and do it by recon, because the recon sets it up for the reoccurring stimulus checks. More about that later in a second in this video, but here there was a lot of other breaking news that happened yesterday. Over the last few weeks, you've seen me play a video of Elizabeth Warren in which she urged the president with Leader Schumer to forgive $50,000 of student loan debt. You saw this video several times on this channel, and Elizabeth Warren basically said, we need to forgive student loan debt by executive order. The president, when asked to consider it, wouldn't do it. Well, to yesterday, he changed. Yesterday, not this video, but yet another video was released by Leader Schumer and Elizabeth Warren, asking for the president to forgive student loan debt. Let's listen to what Elizabeth Warren had said before about this just a few days earlier.
It doesn't have to go through Congress. The authority is already there in law for the president and his team, the administration, the Secretary of Education, to cancel out this student loan debt. And President Obama used it to cancel some student loan debt. President Trump used it to cancel some student loan debt. I want to see President Biden use it. If he would cancel.
What's important for her to say in that recording is the mentioning of the law. Why? Because later yesterday, President Biden finally made the move. What happened yesterday was President Biden, after nearly 6 months of prodding by Leader Schumer and Elizabeth Warren, made the determination, yes, I'm going to investigate the situation. And he did exactly what Elizabeth Warren asked for. Yesterday, the President of the United States announced that he did dispatch his Secretary for Education, exactly what Warren had asked for, to look at whether the president has legal authority, which Elizabeth Warren says he does, to forgive $50,000 of student loan debt. And that education secretary will produce the report, a memo, over the next 2 weeks, and the president will then look at it and make the determination if $50,000 of student loan debt will be forgiven. This is huge. This is huge. For the first time in 6 months, the president has finally made the move. He was urged to do this on day one. He wouldn't do it. And now he's making the move. If you've been with this channel for a while, you know that the third stimulus package put in a provision that said if the executive order does happen and the money is forgiven, you will not have to pay taxes on forgiven money. Had that not been done, even $50,000 forgiven is taxable. Now it won't be. Great, great, great news. I'll be following that story over the next few days, but let me cut back to what's happening on that $1,400 third stimulus check. What's important to know is that those March 24th checks, March 26 checks have been late, and more posted yesterday. So what's going to happen today, April 2nd? More March 26 checks, mail, will show up, but also, Wave 3 checks start to show up today potentially as well. If you get a Wave 3 check, please send me a DM. Those are the April 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th checks. We've yet to see any of them show up, so they're not coming early. Let's see if they show up on time. If they show up on time, they start today. If they show up late, they could be upwards of 7 days late, like the second check. Now, this is what's important for you to know, is that if you are watching this channel and you have gone to that irs.gov tool and it shows no information for you, well, guess what? There's two possibilities. One, the tool will never work for you. It'll never show information. Or two, your check is being sent out today and the tool is going to update itself tomorrow. Yes. How does this work? Let me explain the details. The tool has the following delineation for it. Every Friday, a new round of stimulus checks go out, either by direct deposit or by mail check. And within 24 hours later, the tool updates itself. The tool then says, hi, we have information now about you. And we got that information last night. So if you're looking at that tool and it shows no information about you, two things could happen. One, the tool doesn't work, and it'll never just show any information about you. Or two, the money has not been sent out. And Wave 4 gets sent out today, and tomorrow the tool will update itself. Well, guess what? What else happens tomorrow for Wave 4? It's not just April 7th. Tomorrow, Saturday, moolah could show up. And I don't mean Calcino, $12 ice cream. I mean real moolah. Which banks are posting money tomorrow? And how do you watch that money? And how do you know which of them will be posting the money? It's all very exciting for you. And guess what? I'll have all those details and more coming up in just 60 seconds from now as Early Mornings LA continues. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on Mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continued earlier today with EIDL that went live at 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, followed by FPUC Retro. If you missed those videos, they're now on the channel. Make sure you grab them and watch them. How are you? It's early mornings LA. It's warm here in Los Angeles. And boy, if you're just joining me, I'm going to have the big recap in just a second. But if you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. It's birthday month on this channel. We're trying to do 400,000 subscribers. We're a couple thousand away. Let's do it. Hit that subscribe button. Tell your friends and neighbors to watch this channel. Share the videos. Tag people on Facebook and Instagram to watch these videos. Because why? There's a new push for the Purple Power to get those reoccurring stimulus checks under forced stimulus. Also, like the video. The more you like the video, the better it helps in the algorithm ranking. Let's try to do 3,000, 4,000 likes. And if you're not become a member, consider becoming a member. The link's at the top of the chat and in the pinned comment. All right, let me get to the other breaking developing news, which is that today is Friday, and a new wave of $1,400 third stimulus checks goes out. These are checks for mail and also for not mail, for deposit. So when would you get the deposit money? April 7th, next Wednesday? No, you could get it tomorrow or today. Yes, let me explain. If you're getting a direct deposit, certain banks release the funds early. And which ones have released the funds early? And what days early? Banks have released the funds early on Friday, Saturday, Monday, and Tuesday after they get it on Friday during the first, second, and third waves. So which banks could do it again today? Chime, Cash App have done it before, and they could do it again today. Also, Green Dot, which could release it tomorrow? H&R Green Emerald Card, also TurboTax, and also MetaSpend, NetSpend, or MetaBank. They have released funds early. So if you are a bank customer for those banks and you're waiting for the direct deposit to hit, and it does go to your direct deposit, not in the mail, then you could see those deposits appear today, Friday, Saturday, also Monday and Tuesday. All great news across the board. So what about the rest of you? Well, this is what you need to know. Wave 4, this new wave going out today, has both mail checks and deposit checks. People on the Comerica Direct Express card, some will get it on the Direct Express card, and some will get it in the mail. Yes, even if you have the Direct Express card by Comerica, it may go in the mail still, IRS confirms. Even if you got that first or second stimulus check, this one may go in the mail as well, IRS confirms. Also, even if you got your first or second stimulus check by Bank America or Chase on the big banks, this one may go by the mail as well. As one viewer yesterday said, the reverse may also happen as well. If you got the first two checks by mail, even though they had your debit card, this may go by debit card. There's also the reverse scenario, which I don't always mention. Yesterday, the president made that major announcement to forgive $50,000 of student loan debt, which is a huge push. And it shows how this president is amenable to pushes from those Democrats. Chuck Schumer has been pushing for that $50,000 student loan debt forgiveness and had asked for it for day one of the Biden administration. This is now April 2nd. And ultimately, now the president's making a move to do it in April, 4 months later. Sooner than later. But what did the president say yesterday in his briefing about the new forced stimulus? Let's listen in.
Asking 5 cabinet members to take special responsibility to explain the plan to the American public. Working with my team here in the White House, these cabinet members will represent me in dealing with Congress, engage the public in selling the plan, and help work out the details as we refine it and move forward. These 5 members will be Pete Buttigieg, Jennifer Granholm, Marcia Fudge, Marty Walsh, and Gina Raimondo. And I think I want to thank them in advance for the role they're going to play with this added assignment I'm asking them to take on. And we'll be discussing that today and among other things.
Also yesterday, the vice president spoke about the need for the stimulus package to get passed and other stimulus across the board. Let's listen to what she had to say.
With our community core, we will empower more leaders with more information to reach more people. So you kind of get the theme here. We need to do more, and we need your help to do it. Whether you run a faith-based organization that's going door to door to schedule appointments, which so many of you have been doing, or a food assistance program that's making sure that folks have transportation to vaccination sites, or a community health center doing the beautiful, culturally competent work, the bilingual health outreach, speaking to people in the language they speak, literally and culturally. And the basic message, of course, we all know, is pretty straightforward. The vaccine is safe, and it will save lives. The vaccine is safe, and it will save lives. And so
Meantime, the press secretary yesterday tried to really explain to the American people why the Republicans are a factor or not a factor, and whether taxes will have to be increased or not to pass the fourth stimulus package. Let's listen to what she had to say to another series of questions
between the ARP.
yesterday.
The ARP, the American Rescue Plan, was an emergency package. We needed to get it done as quickly as possible to get the pandemic under control, get relief direct checks out to Americans. We've got a little bit more time here to work and have discussions with members of both parties. We want to see progress by Memorial Day. We'd like to see this package passed by the summer, but I certainly expect when Congress returns that the president will be inviting members to the Oval Office.
And when you consider that timeline, certainly there are Democrats, especially the most progressive Democrats, who would like to see the ability to get this done quickly in order to touch on some of the other priorities that are in different topic areas. Is there a real sense?
I'll address that issue of doing things quickly in a second. It was a great question.
So that you can work with Republicans when the leader says there will be no support, when the House Republican leader, Kevin McCarthy, says we love infrastructure, but we don't like this tax idea. Is there any room left?
I think that's a question for them. They support investment in infrastructure, right? They believe we need to do more to compete with China. Maybe they don't believe we should pay for it. If so, they should say that. Maybe they have different alternative ideas. There have been some proposals out there about user fees or gas taxes, essentially. We don't agree with that. We don't believe that the cost should be on the backs of the American people. We believe that corporations should be able to bear the brunt for investing in America's workers. But they can come forward with their ideas. We believe we can start from a place where we agree.
And given that the COVID economy has been hard on so many businesses, is this the time to try to increase taxes when they are not really out of the COVID slide?
I'll address this question as well in a second. Notice her question is about any type of business, but the response back is only about big corporations.
Of the economic impact of the pandemic.
Well, what we're talking about here, that's exactly why we shouldn't be increasing taxes on the American people, on people making less than $400,000 a year, why we shouldn't be putting in place user fees, because people are still trying to get through this period of time. Corporations who have had their tax rate lowered to 21%, lower by a great margin than it's been ever in history, corporations that didn't pay any taxes in 2018, we think they can afford to help rebuild our workforce, help invest in industries of the future, and make sure our infrastructure makes us competitive with China.
Here's the problem with several of the messages that the press secretary is saying that is confusing the situation. Let me explain what's going on. And the questions by the reporter were excellent. First of all, the press secretary tries to paint all corporations as Fortune 500, whereas the question posed by the reporter was just about businesses in general. Here's what the press secretary is missing. I have hundreds of thousands of viewers who are husbands and wives that have their businesses owned through a corporation, that they are the sole two people. Husband and wife that have it do it through a corporation, or husband and wife have it for an LLC. And they don't make $400,000. They make $100,000 a year. They make less than even the threshold for a stimulus check. And what she wants to do with this proposal that she's referring to is deflect the discussion to only big corporate America and say, yeah, you can afford 21% going to 28% because you're big corporate America. Guess what? There's a lot of small business owners that have everything set up through a corporation or an LLC, and that will ultimately impact their bottom line. That's the first thing. Second is she talks about big corporations not paying any taxes, 90 of them. Again, that's the loophole tax issue, where a lot of corporations do post their income internationally overseas because they have an international location. That's not the mom and pop operation, the mom and pop that husband and wife that have that they're the sole owners of a small little business and just post it to a corporation tax return. Again, they're hurt because the focus is on the big corporation. Finally, what's important to understand is the stimulus check issue. The stimulus check issue, the reoccurring stimulus check issue, is put in there by the Senate Democrats. The Senate Democrats have made very clear that whatever is in this bill, when it lands to the Senate, they will modify it and put those reoccurring stimulus checks in there. It's 21 of 50 Democrats. It's great for you. It's absolutely incredible. This is where it's not particularly incredible. If the president wants to spend several weeks talking to Republicans to get them to do something bipartisan on the bill and then spends an additional 3 weeks, that doesn't do anything. Ultimately, every time the president delays to get this done, it delays the stimulus check. The hope is that because Mitch McConnell yesterday, after this video, came out and said, no, we're not doing this. We're not doing this bill. Don't ask me. We don't like the bill. Hopefully the president will say, fine, away we go. We're going to reconciliation. We'll be done with this bill in a few weeks, and away we go. We sign it into law. Stimulus checks go out the door. I hope that's what the president does this time. I hope the president does not muddy and walk around this with Republicans for 3 or 4 weeks when he's already been given the alert after this video. They don't want to do it. The faster you get the stimulus checks in your hand, the better you are. And now while we sit back, we wonder, when are these jobs really going to be created? Are they going to be created next year or at the end of this year? We don't know that answer, but we do know the answer about stimulus checks. The Democratic senators want to put those reoccurring stimulus checks in there, and it's a lot of money. If you make less than $75,000, this is you. This is a stimulus check every month, automatically, $1,400, $2,000, several months, could be $12,000, $16,000, $18,000. The faster you get this money, the better it is. Hopefully this video has explained to you why the press secretary's focus on big corporate America for discussing this situation is a little bit deflecting. All right, let me go to now what's going on for this weekend. And today, it's all incredible great news. That fourth wave of stimulus checks are going out today. And they're landing by direct deposit in all accounts tonight. What's important to know is that all the banks are getting the funds tonight, whoever is receiving the funds. But the big banks, they won't release the funds till Wednesday. The big banks include Chase, Bank America. They also include Comerica Direct Express. If you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, and Rural Benefits, when will your money be available? If it's in a big bank, it won't be available till Wednesday. If it's in a smaller bank like the Chime or Cash App, it could be available today or this week or tomorrow. But if you're not getting it by direct deposit, if IRS has just decided, nope, you're one of the people we're going to send in the mail, then when is your mail check landing? This is what you need to understand. It may not be landing in Wave 4. It actually may be already landing as part of Wave 2. You don't know if that IRS tool is not working, if your mail check is already in the mail and just delayed. Understand, the largest segment of viewers of this channel are Wave 2 March 26 mail check people. There are so many of them that the presumption is many of you are also in that group as well, but the tool is just not working for you. That March 26 Wave 2 group includes the Direct Express by Comerica customers, the Bank America, the Chase, but instead they're coming by March 26, and they're late. So the advice to you is the following. Watch the mail every single day. You don't want to miss the mail check when it lands. Then, if you are a small bank customer, which I detailed in this video, like a Chime or Cash App, watch today, Friday, Saturday, and Monday and Tuesday. That's when your deposit will occur. Like NetSpend. NetSpend will not post on Wednesday. It'll start posting today and tomorrow. And then check the IRS tool every day, but especially check it on Saturday. That's the day in which it'll update itself. As one viewer said very clear, there's the best way to do it, which is check the tool, check the deposit, and check the mail every single day. The president made very clear yesterday it's important to pass stimulus, but the hope is that the president passes stimulus quickly, not blooding and waiting around for Republicans who don't want to do it. Mitch McConnell's statement yesterday was very clear. We don't want to do it. And the other thing that's very clear that the press secretary misses the point in the question about is jobs. Let me touch on that issue right now. Yesterday, the jobs numbers came out, and they weren't good again. The new jobless claims in the United States rose again. They rose again, showing that unemployment is still an issue in this country. Understand, we're missing 8 million jobs in this economy. 8 million jobs from over a year ago before the pandemic hit. To recreate those number of jobs, we need to have 500,000 new jobs per month over 16 months to be back to 8.1 million jobs. Well, guess what? We're not heading there. And if you're going to tax the corporate America that creates those jobs, will they create them? The new jobless claims numbers released yesterday were expected to be 675, higher than the week before at 658. Guess where they came in? 719. Really high. This is not a good number. The unemployment number has stayed above 700,000 for a year of this channel. We can't keep on doing this. The long-term unemployment number is at 3.8, just approved about $46,000 people. It's not improving. California, which reopened across much of a state in the last 2 weeks, where you think reopening creates more jobs, no. California added 9,000 new unemployment claims last week. Kentucky added 16,000. Georgia added 12,000. And Virginia added 31,000 new jobless claims last week. This is new. You see, the issue is that we need jobs now. His jobs plan introduced yesterday, it's not generating jobs this month. It's not generating jobs this summer. It may not generate jobs anytime this year. It's great for jobs, but not jobs now. People need jobs right now. And ultimately, I hope the message of this video is clear. I'm here and dedicated to ensure that you get yourself financially stable throughout this pandemic. I hope that the next few days and this weekend and next week are great news days for you. I hope those stimulus checks land, because as those stimulus checks land, then I'm hoping that you get financially stable and that we focus on the other money on the third stimulus that is about to land, that EIDL, that rent, that food, that additional assistance like hazard pay, unearned income tax credit, the money for the children. There's so much more money, $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 that is in third stimulus package that I want you to get. And together as a family, we're going to get it right after you get that stimulus check. Until then, I'm dedicated to ensure you get that stimulus check. Stay informed, stay focused. If you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Also like this video. And if you've not become a member, consider becoming a member. Stay informed, stay focused, and I'll see you at 9 o'clock on Mornings LALATE.